In this video, I'm going to show you how to sell your digital product or service using just Aweber Ecommerce. It's pretty cool, so stick around. Hey, it's Craig McLean here, and this is where I help small business owners and entrepreneurs grow and manage their business online. So let's jump right into it. So let's start off today by doing an overview of what we're going to be configuring within Aweber using the landing page feature and integrating the e-commerce widget. So the first thing is going to be a digital product, and it's going to be a digital marketing book, which we're going to be selling online, so an ebook. And for the product pricing, we have a product value of $19.99, but we have a sale price of $9.99 today. The second landing page we're building today is for a service, and it's going to be a self-defense workshop. And we're going to be charging $14.99 for attendance to this workshop. So let's get started. So the first thing we'll do today is we'll head over to aweber.com, and we'll log into our account. And we'll start off today by creating a new list. So from the top menu, we'll click on Lists, and we'll click on Create a List. And you're going to fill in your company name and website URL. Mine is okay as is. And you're going to fill in the sender name and email for emails that are going to be going out from this list. Mine is okay as is, so I will click on Next Step. List name, I'm going to title mine Digital Marketing Secrets. And then you want to enter a list description. And then choose Next Step. And now we need to approve a confirmation message. So for the confirmation message for the subject line, I generally like to use this one here, response required. And then scroll down, and let's go ahead and edit this confirmation message. And I like to personalize my messages, so let's go ahead and delete this, and I'll start typing hi, and we'll click on personalize, subscribers info, and choose first name. Add in a comma and a couple of line breaks. I'm going to paste in some text I wrote up. So please click the button below to confirm your email and receive your copy of Digital Marketing Secrets Revealed. Button text, I like to use confirm my email. And then for our thank you or our sign off, I'll just go thank you, and I'll just include my name. I'll click on preview. I'll ensure I'm happy with that, and then I will click on approve message and create list. So we've created our list. We've got a couple of more list settings to go through. So we'll click on list options, and we'll scroll all the way to the bottom. And under notifications, we want to enter our email address because we definitely want to be notified if someone purchases our book. And we will click add. So this is going to be your email address. So let's click on Save All Settings. Let's scroll to the top. And now we're ready to build our landing page. So we'll click on Landing Pages. And you'll see that we have none created. So we'll click on Create a Landing Page. And Aweber's put together a number of different landing page options that you can go scroll through and choose from and see what suits your particular need. We're going to go ahead, and on the left menu, we're going to choose e-commerce. We're going to scroll down, and we're going to go with sell a product. Let's go ahead and preview it. And I think this is going to work perfectly for what we need. So let's close this out and click on choose. So we'll start by giving our landing page a name here up at the top. And now let's go ahead, and we're going to go ahead and keep this row in here, and we're going to update our logo. So let's go ahead and click on the logo, and let's choose upload an image. And I have a logo here which I'm going to select, and I'll choose open. And there we go. Now whenever we have an element selected here, you'll see that the menu on the right hand side is going to give us additional settings for that. So under attributes, you're going to see link to. So if someone clicks on our logo, we can have it linked somewhere. So I'll go ahead and I'll put in my website URL here. And this is just alt text. If the logo happens to not display for some reason, it's going to display some alternative text. So I'll just go ahead and enter my URL in that format, or my name. And then let's click on design. We're not going to want any of these settings for our logo. Let's click on sizing, and let's scroll down a little bit. And we've got sizing options here. We can have it auto width. We're going to turn that off, and we can adjust the width and height directly from here. Or we can click on our logo, and from the bottom right corner we can resize it like this. And I think I'm okay with that right there. We'll scroll down a little bit, and I do want to turn this on full width on mobile. That way if someone's viewing this on their phone, that logo is going to fit nicely in the center of the page. Now let's scroll down, let's click on spacing, and let's change the alignment, and we're going to choose center. And I'm happy with that. So let's go ahead, let's move on. Let's go ahead and change our product image first. So let's click on the image, and then choose upload an image. And now I'm going to find the 3D cover image of my book, and I will click on it and choose open. And you'll see that we have a progress bar because it's currently uploading. Now I did optimize my image and save it for the web. Just make sure you're not uploading too large an image just because you don't want it to take a while to load on the page. So our image is currently selected here. So on the right hand side you'll see our menu options. Again, we have a link box in case we want someone to click on this and go somewhere else. But I definitely don't want that. I want them to be on this page here. For my alt text, I can go ahead and take this out and I can just type in the title of my book. Let's click on design. We don't need to worry about anything in here. For sizing, let's go ahead and make this a little bit smaller. And what we'll do is we will turn off auto width. And you'll see when I turn that off, I now have this icon on the bottom right, which is going to allow me to drag it down and I can resize it. So I think that's a little bit better. Now let's scroll down. Again, I want full width on mobile. Click on that. And I think that looks pretty good. So let's move over to the right hand side here with the product details. So I'll click on your product name. And let's change the text here. And our list price would be $19.99. And we're going to sell this at an inexpensive price because it's an ebook and I just want to get it in the hands of my prospects. So let's go ahead and change this and sell it for $9.99. And I can remove this, you save 20%. And before we worry about the buy now button, let's update the description of this first. So let's get rid of everything in here. And I'm going to paste in a description that I've already pre-written and click out of it. Yeah, it's a little bit close to the buy now button, so let's add a line break there. Give it a little bit of space, and that looks better. Now it's time to click on our buy now button. First thing we'll do is we'll change the text. I'll just make this capital. That looks better. And you'll notice on the right hand side here, because our button's selected, we now have e-commerce listed here, and it's giving us a notification that says before you can start selling products through Aweber, we need to connect Stripe. Now, if you're not familiar with Stripe or never used it, Stripe is one of the most widely used payment processing systems online, and I definitely recommend it if you're doing any type of online sales. I have another video on how to get started with Stripe, which I'll put a link to, and I'll also put a link in the description below. So what we'll do is we will click on Connect Stripe, and you'll see it's going to open in a new tab, and then I'll click on Connect Integration. And I'll enter the email address for my Stripe account. And click Next. I'll enter my password and click Login. And it's going to ask me to verify my login, so it's going to send me a text message, and I've received it, so I'll type it in. I verified that, and I will now click on Connect. And there we go. Stripe is being connected with Aweber. Super simple. So let's go ahead and we'll close this tab. And what we'll do is we will click Save and Exit. And then we will click back into our landing page. We'll click on the button. And you'll see that notification has now disappeared. So let's go ahead and we're going to add a product. So we'll click on the Add Product button. And let's title it. Let's give it a price. And let's click Add Product. Now under tags, we do want to add a tag here. And what this tag is going to be used for is a trigger to kickstart a campaign sequence, which is going to send the purchaser the download link for the book in an email. So we'll go ahead and create a tag. After I enter the tag name, I'll click on Enter. And you'll see that it highlights it to signify that the tag is being created. Now we'll scroll down and we'll click on Button. And now we can style our button a little bit if we like. So for the alignment, I do like this full width option. I'm okay with the shape as is. And for the color, let's go ahead and adjust the color so it matches our book a little bit more nicely. So let's click on Color, and let's choose this option here. Now we have the option to choose a hover color as well. So when we hover over this button, It's not going to display this yellow. It's going to display something a little bit closer to the color we selected. So let's go with a little bit lighter here and click out. And that looks good. So let's click on the order form tab. So for the order form, it's got the product pre-selected here, which is what we want. We'll scroll down, we'll click on button, and you can see this button has a different color than the one over here. So why don't we adjust it so it matches? And let's choose color. And that's the one we want. And then the hover color here. Perfect. Branding. You'll notice that it has a powered by Aweber logo here. We can turn that off if we like. There we go. And if I click on this button here, you'll see it says pay $39.99, but up here it shows the price of $9.99. And this is actually just text within the button here. So we can go ahead and customize this. I'm just going to take off that pricing. I'm going to change this text to confirm order. And now let's click on the receipt tab. And once more, let's scroll down to button. And let's set the color again, as well as our hover color. Make sure that works. There we go. That's perfect. Now in order to get back to our landing page, we just simply click on the window here to get out of that. And let's scroll down. And you'll notice we've got some more elements here that were brought in from our template. So the first thing is a testimonial section. I've got a testimonial that I can place in here. So why don't I just go ahead and replace this, and I'm going to paste that in. There we go. And I'll update the name here. And you'll notice here that we've got drop elements here, drop elements here. It's because this row has 3 columns, and you'll notice on the menu here, it's got column settings, and you'll notice all 3 columns. I'm only using the middle column here, so why don't we just go ahead and delete the other 2. So I'll click on column 1, I'll scroll down, and I'll choose delete column. And now it's only showing 2 columns. So I want this one here, the one on the right, so I'll click on column 2. I'll scroll down, and I'll click delete column. There we go. So it's now a full width row. So why don't we go ahead and adjust the styling. Let's go ahead and center all of my text. And I can even bring this down to the next line as well to make that look a little bit better. And I think that looks good. And the next row here is product images. We actually don't have any additional product images, so we're going to get rid of this row entirely. So as I hover over this row, you'll notice on the bottom right there's a little trash can icon, and we'll click on that to delete it. And same with this next one. I don't want another buy now button below here, just because my landing page isn't too long and I don't need another buy now button. We're going to keep this one here in place. So we'll hover over and choose delete. And if you want to add any social media links or links anywhere else, you can go ahead and do that, but I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this row. I want to keep this a real simple landing page for what I need it for. So I think that looks pretty good. Before we go ahead and save and exit, let's click on the top right here and choose preview. And let's scroll down and ensure we're happy with this. I think that looks good. Let's click on buy now. $9.99, name, email, and the credit card information. Again, Stripe makes this really simple. Let's close out of here. And before we go ahead, under preview options, let's see how this looks on a phone. And let's scroll down. And that looks good. So we can turn that toggle off, back to editor, and let's choose save and exit on the bottom right. So before we can go ahead and view the public landing page, we first need to publish this. We'll click on the publish button. And you can see our landing page is now being published. We have a URL here it's given us. I'm going to click on this URL. And this is the link we'll use for our landing page. And we're going to ensure everything looks good. And it does. So that's perfect. Let's close this out. So now that our landing page is being created, someone can come to the landing page, purchase the book, but now we need to find a way to actually send them an email with the book download link. So we're going to hover over messages and choose campaigns. And let's click on create a campaign. And we're going to start off with a blank campaign. And we're going to give our campaign a name. And we're going to click on create. So we have two trigger options to kickstart this campaign. We have an on subscribe. So if someone joins this list, they'll go ahead and receive this campaign, and as a result, they're going to receive a download link for the book. Or we can choose the tag applied option. If I wanted this to be an official automated process where someone has to purchase, I'm going to go ahead and choose this option. And it's going to say here, trigger campaign when these tags are applied. And on the right hand side here, it says start the campaign if any of these tags are applied to a subscriber. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the box, and we'll start typing in the tag name that we define on our order form. So I'll start typing it in. And you'll notice that it's not going to populate here. And it's because we actually don't have any subscribers who have that tag. So what we're going to do is we're going to delete this. And we're going to choose save and exit. Save and exit. We're going to navigate to subscribers and subscribers. And you're going to see we have no subscribers here. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to add myself. I'll choose add subscribers. Add one at a time. And I'll add myself here. And under tags, I'll enter the tag name that I used on the order form and enter. And I'll click on add subscriber. Now we'll head back over to messages, campaigns, and we'll click on our campaign, and we'll click on the trigger box here. And now in the tag box, let's start typing in that tag name, and you're going to see it populates here, digital marketing secrets purchased. And it's populated that because the tag is now officially created because it is being assigned to a subscriber. So now anyone who has this tag applied to them is going to move on in this campaign sequence. So what do we want to do next? We want to go ahead and send a message. So we're going to drag this out into our canvas here and let go. And we'll click on create a message. And we're going to choose the drag and drop email builder. And we'll start off with our subject line. Again, I like to personalize it, so we'll go personalize, subscribers info, and I'll choose their first name, enter a comma and a space. I'm going to paste in a subject line I've pre-written, download your copy of Digital Marketing Secrets Revealed. Now we'll edit the email, so again, it's personalized already, hi first name, let's add in a comma there, and I'll get rid of this text here, and I will paste in the email I have. There we go. I'll add in some spaces. And let's also enlarge this text here. It's a little bit small. So why don't we bump this up to, let's say, 15. I think that looks a little bit better. And it says, please download your copy here. So that means we need to enter a URL for someone to download this book. So generally, if you're selling an ebook or a digital product, you're going to have that digital product hosted somewhere on a website or some sort of cloud service. So why don't we go ahead and we're going to keep it real simple. Now, a lot of people have Dropbox, Google Drive. We're going to go ahead and we're going to host this from Google Drive, and we're going to enter that URL into this email. I personally prefer Amazon S3 for all my media hosting, but we're going to keep it real simple for this video. We're just going to use Google Drive. So I'll go ahead and open up my Google Drive account. So you'll see I'm in my Google Drive account. I've already got my PDF uploaded here. So what we're going to do is we're going to right click on this, and we're going to choose Get Link. And it's important that we adjust the permissions here to ensure that they're going to be able to download this. We're going to click on Restricted, and we're going to choose anyone with the link. So anyone on the internet with this link can view it. So we're going to click on Copy Link, and then I can choose Done. And I'll go back to my message, and I will paste in this Google Drive link. And you'll see it reverted to the smaller font size. That's fine. We can go ahead and adjust that sizing. Let's go ahead and make this even a little bit bigger. There we go. Even adjust the font style if we like. We'll use Helvetica. And we need to go ahead and make this link clickable. So I'll go ahead and I'll select this again. And I will choose the hyperlink icon. And I'll paste in my URL and choose OK. And from here you can add any styling to your email you like or any additional elements. I'm just going to bold this text here. Then I'll click on Preview and Test. It's not going to show their first name here because it's a personalization field, but that's fine. We can also view it on the mobile device preview, and that looks okay. So now let's choose Back to Editor, and we can go ahead and we can choose Save and Exit at this point actually. So there's our campaign. The campaign's going to start when the tag is being applied, and that tag is digital marketing secrets revealed. If that tag is being applied, it's going to move to sequence number 2, which is going to send off this email, and that's going to give them the download link that was needed. So now we're going to choose save and exit. And we're not done yet. We need to click on this button and we need to activate this campaign. Now our campaign's active, our landing page is being published. I'm going to show you one more thing. We're going to navigate back over to landing pages. And we're going to click on our landing page. And we're going to click on the Buy Now button. And under tags, you'll notice because we're using that same tag and we've now created a campaign, it's just notifying us that applying the tag Digital Marketing Secrets Purchase will also add those subscribers to the following campaign, the ebook purchase campaign, which we just created. It's a nice little notification just in case you're not aware of the implications of adding a specific tag to a contact. So let's go ahead and choose save and exit. So at the beginning of this video, I mentioned that we were going to create landing pages for 2 different types. One was going to be a digital product and the other was going to be a digital service. So the product and service that we're creating landing pages for are not related at all. So I would generally use a different list for this other service. But to avoid having to go through the list creation process, which I've already shown you, we're actually going to create that landing page within this same list. So let's get started, and we're going to click on create a landing page. And this landing page is going to allow someone to register for a self-defense workshop. So from the categories on the left, let's choose events, and we're going to choose event registration. So let's start off by giving our landing page a title. And now let's work on the design. Again, let's change the logo. And we're going to use the same logo we used last time. So we could upload it again, but it's actually going to be saved in our image gallery. So let's click on image gallery. And then let's click on my images. And then I will select the logo. And there it is. So again, we have our attributes tab here. We can go ahead and create a link for this logo. Let's go ahead and do that. So if someone clicks on that logo, it's going to take them to this link. We'll adjust the alt text. We don't need to be worried about the design tab here. We'll now click on sizing. And I don't want this to be auto width because that's a little bit too big. So I will turn this toggle off and then I will drag this down here. And I just want this to be a small logo there. But I do want it to be full width on the mobile view. So I'll check this box here. And I'm happy with that. So now let's go ahead and style our headline portion here. Let's get rid of this top headline here. And you'll see it takes out the formatting, but that's okay. So why don't we go ahead and remove all this text actually, and we'll get started. Self-defense workshop. We'll enter a new line, and then a subheadline, and then a brief description. So now we can go ahead and style it. I'm going to assign heading 1 to this first headline. And let's drop that sizing down. And let's go ahead and select all of this and center it. And let's also change the color of this first headline. And now let's work on our subheadline here. Let's give this an H3. And we can italicize that. And now let's bring this one up a little bit. And we can go ahead and italicize this too if we like. And why don't we drop this down to the next line. So I think that looks good. Let's move on to our event information on the left hand side here. So let's change this text to event information. And let's replace this text here. And we do want it to be bulleted still. And before we move on to the order section here, let's scroll down below. And about your hosts is going to change to about your instructor. And we've only got one instructor, so let's go ahead and get rid of the 4-column layout here. We only need 1 column. So what we'll do is we'll click on the row, and you'll see we have 4 columns listed here. So I will click on delete column, and delete column. So now we are left with 1 column. So let's change the image of the instructor, and we'll choose upload an image. and we'll find the image right here and choose open. And that's the image, and that is actually me. And the instructor name, I'll enter my name. And then I'll enter my credentials, which are accurate. And let's go ahead and italicize that. And let's scroll down below here. And now this row just has social media links. We can go ahead and we can adjust this, or we can remove this row, whatever we like. We'll go ahead and we'll put in a couple of social media links. And then we'll choose done after each one. And if you have any that weren't listed, you can go ahead and add any social links here, websites or email links that you like. And then you can adjust the styling here as well. And if you want, we can go ahead and remove this powered by Aweber if we like. We can go ahead and delete that. And that looks good. So let's scroll up a little bit. So I like the text here, save your seat. Now you see this is going to be a basic subscription form. So we're actually going to change this up because this template was for a workshop that was not paid. We are going to be charging for this workshop a small fee. So under elements on this left menu, we're going to scroll down until we find e-commerce, and we're going to drag this out here. And now let's click on the text first, and let's change this to register now. And now let's add a product for this button, and let's give it a name. And the price, $14.99. We're going to click add product. And once again, we need to assign a tag for those people who have purchased and registered for this workshop. Let's go ahead and create a tag here. We'll call it SD for self-defense workshop purchased. We can click enter, or we can click tab, and it's going to highlight it. That's what we want. Then we'll click on button, and we can style this button. I like the full width option here, and I think I'm happy with this color too. Let's click back on the button here. Let's actually bold this text. There we go, register now. Now let's click on order form, and let's see how this looks here. So your order, self-defense workshop registration. It says pay, so why don't we go ahead and change this to confirm registration. Or let's change that to confirm order, because they are purchasing this. Let's bold this. And we can click on button, and let's make it a full width again. And we can remove the branding if we like to. And we'll do the same for receipt. There we go. So if we're happy with this, we can click out of it. We can just click back on this window here. And now this register button is what's going to pop open the window. So that means we can get rid of this form element here. So we can hover over this, and then we will choose delete. And if I do that, it keeps selecting the e-commerce button below. So what do we do is we'll drag this above it first, and then we will be able to delete this easily. There we go. So save your seat, register now. If we want just to space this out a little bit, we can add an extra line break, and then that'll look a little bit better. So why don't we go ahead and we will click on preview, and now we can preview this. So self-defense workshop, it's got a description for the headline, the event information, save your seat, information about the instructor, and let's click register now. So self-defense workshop registration for $14.99, and again it's brought in the credit card information here. So let's go ahead and click out of this, and let's see the mobile device preview. And that looks good as well. So we can close that out, and we can choose back to editor. And if we're happy with everything, we can go ahead and click on save and exit. So once again, we'll click on publish. And now Aweber's given us a URL for this landing page, which we can click on. We can view here. There we go, and that is our landing page that we have, and we can use this URL for our marketing purposes. So let's close this out. So now let's head back over to messages, campaigns. And once again, we have to create a campaign. We're going to create a blank campaign, and let's title this. And we'll click on create. And we want to use the tag apply trigger. And let's enter the tag name that we defined if someone purchased or registered for that workshop successfully. And it was SD workshop purchased. So now let's go ahead and send a message to those who registered and paid for that workshop. So let's drag this send a message out to the canvas, and we will click on create a message, drag and drop email builder. Now let's go ahead and add in our subject line. And now we can go ahead and edit our email. So again, I like to start off with some personalization. Hi, first name. We'll add in a comma here, and we will replace the default text with some text I've written here. As a reminder, here's your event information. Let's go ahead and make this text bigger. And let's also change the text style here. This time, let's go ahead and use this trebuchet. There we go. And there we go. I'm happy with that email there. We can preview and test it. So that looks good. We can see the mobile device preview, and that looks good. And again, you can always send an actual test to your email address. I'm not going to do that here, but you can certainly do that. So we'll now choose save and exit. And now we will click on save and exit again. Before we go anywhere, we first need to activate this campaign. So we'll click on activate. Now once again, let's head back to landing pages. Let's click on our self-defense workshop. Let's click on our register now button, and let's just confirm. And yes, so if someone receives this tag, it is notifying us that they will be added to that specific campaign, and that is what we want to see. So now we'll choose save and exit. So guys, there you have it. We've created 2 landing pages. One was for a digital product and one was for a service. So if you're an Aweber user and you just need to get a product up real quick and then refine it later, I think this is a really great service. This e-commerce widget is fairly new with Aweber. You're not going to get a ton of features and options that you would expect from an e-commerce service, but this is a fantastic do-it-yourself situation, which is going to allow you to get something up and out there to your market. Now, if you're not an existing Aweber user, but have been on the fence about giving them a try, I highly recommend you sign up for their free trial. I'll paste a link in the description below. Now, you're not going to get access to the e-commerce or the landing page feature like we covered in this video, but it's going to give you a good idea of the interface and see whether Aweber is the right service for you. So I hope you found value in this video, and if you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and turn on notifications below. Thanks, and see you in the next video.